I made a dozen windows and 16 doors for Kitty Found a Camera. Okay, that concludes the news segment of the Needleful Weekly. So now I want to try something new, using these weekly videos for more general thoughts that I don't think deserve a, full video. What I've been thinking about currently is how to phrase the common advice for new game developers, start small, in a way that's actually helpful. Simply repeating, start small, don't start with your dream game, your first games will be bad, etc. is just vague, annoying, and demoralizing. People don't want to make bad things, they want to make their dreams, they want to do that stuff. So I want to frame this advice in a different way. First of all, make what you want to make. Don't listen when people tell you you should be doing something else. Don't give yourself homework. You don't do small games to graduate into big games. If you think you're making something that's a waste of time, you will give up. It's that simple. At the same time, don't be delusional. Here's an exercise. Take your favorite game, look up the credits, and count the number of people who worked on it. For example, my game, At the Ends of Eras, is inspired by Jak 3, which credits 85 core developers and over 220 people overall. There's a reason the game looks like this after almost 4 years of work. You don't become an astronaut by jumping up and down hoping you launch into orbit, and you don't do the work of 85 people on your own. Look at games that solo developers actually make. There's numerous great games, but they're almost always smaller, simpler, and more focused than games by large teams. Speaking of focus, get to the point. With your finite time and resources, what are the most interesting ideas you can share? Why should your game exist? Is it unique? Is it better? Is it interesting? Prove it. Your very earliest prototype should answer these questions, stripped of every extra element, and the rest of the game should follow from that. Then, no matter how small the final game is, you'll know it's worthwhile. And remember, you can always do it again. The only way to waste a good idea is to let it rot in your greasy little brain. A small game can be the seed of a big game, sequels or spiritual successors, remakes and iterations. It might be what gets you collaborators or crowdfunding or a publisher, and if it sucks, good thing you didn't spend 15 years on it to learn about that the hard way. And that is basically my advice on how to start small. I tried to make that clear and concise since I can't be bothered editing a longer video. Check the description for some notes and examples and things. It's hard advice to follow, even for me. I think I need to reduce the scope of At the Ends of Eras again, for example, because even in the visual novel form it's so sprawling and undirected that I don't think I can make it. I'm also failing to get to the point. I imagine really exciting and interesting quests, but then I write other quests. That's part of why I'm taking a break from it, so I can come back and remove everything that doesn't seem important anymore. That's actually what happened to Kitty Found a Camera. I had the idea 6 years ago, but then I thought, oh, what if it was a time loop and you could travel back in time to when a photo was taken, and I tacked on a whole bunch of other ideas that were too difficult for me to implement. Later, I came back and thought, I don't care about any of that crap, I just want to take photos. And thus the game's scope naturally shrunk to a sustainable size. I think in a green field, At the Ends of Eras would be a much simpler game. That simpler game is still worth making, I just have to find it. But until then, see you around, cowboy. Wait, that doesn't make any sense, I'm gonna be back next week.